glad to have Jeter back. As I said, Jeter is kind of the glue that holds this team together. And they just feel much better when he's at the top of the lineup. Plus, he's a great defensive shortstop.
Jeter, who had a pulled oblique muscle in the left
by the first couple of innings.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Back to Clemens. Run away.
Well, that shows he's got confidence in the slider tonight. That's the first time he has thrown it.
37-year-old Roger Clemens. He turned 38 in August. 3-2 the count. Strike 3 call.
Successful against left-handers this year, and he just paints the outside corner with a fastball. Watch, it's moving away from Nixon. And
umpire. Now a major league umpire.
There is a difference, huh?
Pop up. Now he works both leads. Derek Jeter calls off Brocious. Dahlback is gone on 1 pitch, and it's a 3-up, 3-down first inning for Roger Clemens. Now Jeter himself will be coming up second against Pedro Martinez. Here's the Yankees Pepsi starting lineup. It'll be Chuck Knobloch back in the lineup at second base. Derek Jeter back for his second game off the disabled list. At shortstop, Paul O'Neill in right, Bernie Williams in center, Jorge Posada the catcher, Tino Martinez at first, Shane Spencer the DH, Ricky Leday in left, Scott Brocious at third, and on the mound for Boston, there he is, Pedro Martinez.
Get him deep into the count. The other is to attack him first. I think you have to go after him. I would hate to be behind in the count against a guy that has so many great pitches.
First baseman Stanley, foul territory, and Knobloch is gone, 1 away.
And that's what I'm talking about. You see a guy, he makes a fastball on the outside corner, you take it. Now he rides the fastball up and in, and that's very difficult for a right.
4 hits in 19 career at-bats against Pedro. And in 9 of those 19 at-bats, Jeter has struck out. Nearly half. 0-2. Changed up on him. And this is going to be a base hit.
It may look like a cheap hit, but let's face it, he fought off all fastballs.
Big hole on the right side with Jeter over there. The outfield shaded a bit toward left against O'Neill. 2-1 the count. Jeter was a little late actually going into that dive.
Well, he was on his way to second base. He was about to take a step. And watch, he makes a see right there. He buckled, his knees buckled. He started to go to second base or towards second. I don't know if he was going to steal, but he was making his break.
2-1. Give a little slide step. This could be 2. Garcia prior to second, 1. Fly to first. Double play. Just like that, the Yankees are gone. Garcia Parra coming up, then Everett when we come back.
Knee high over the outside corner, and then he comes back with a fastball on the inside corner.
Garcia Parra led the league in hitting last year, 357, and the splitter for the strikeout.
That's a hitter's nightmare, not being able to see any pitches 2 consecutive times in the at-bat, not being able to see 2 fastballs or 2 sliders or 2 curveballs. He saw 3 different speeds, a slider, a fastball, and a splitter, all 3 different speeds. And he's not even close to this one. That's a great splitter right there, especially no ball.
Hitting .331, 14 homers, 42 batted in. Some feel we had the 2 best center fielders in the American League in this game tonight. Up the middle, base hit. The big turn at first by Everett, but he holds on as Bernie Williams, the Yankee center fielder, gets it back in. Everett, who had been in the Yankee farm system and had been very critical of the Yankees.
just the fastball out over the middle of the plate, and he rips it right back through the middle for a base hit.
Got 9 home runs so far this year, but only hitting .236. He's out. Clemens has picked him off.
A great tag by Tino. He caught the ball and made the swipe all in one motion. And the first base umpire, Brian Runge, says he got him in the air. Now watch the tag. You see he was leaning the wrong way as well. And Tino Martinez, watch the quick tag by Tino.
Pedro Martinez, the Red Sox ace. No score, second inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Stanley. Struck him out. The high hard one. 3 strikeouts for the Rocket. Last of the second, Bernie Williams coming up. There is no score. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Gum Out. Red Sox nothing, Yankees nothing. Last of the second inning. And a reminder, the inning 5 Pacific on ESPN. Game 2 will be on June the 1st again, and then every other game will be on ABC. Pop fly by Bernie Williams, and the shortstop Garcia Parra out there to grab it. So Bernie is gone on 1 pitch.
Posada's discipline kept him from swinging at that.
Curveball for the strikeout.
So I think once you get behind Pedro, you get to 1 and 2 or 0 and 2. You're in serious trouble. You just have to become defensive because he has such a variety of pitches to throw at you, and then he just gets you to chase it. He took the 0 and 2 curveball, but here's another one. Look at it. Look at this. The bottom just falls out of it. And that's
268, only 4 home runs. In that ball game last September the 10th, Pedro, in addition to having 17 strikeouts, had no walks and only gave up 1 hit.
And the guy that got the hit is no longer here.
Center field, Everett. The Yankees go down 1-2-3. The Rocket and Pedro starting strongly. No score after 2.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by FogDog.com, the athlete's toy store.
Outstanding pitcher here for the Yankees. Back in the 60s and into the 70s. 3-2 the count. Right field. O'Neill got plenty of room. The edge of the warning track. 1 away.
John, I want to take a moment. Home plate umpire Ed Rapuano wanted me to.
And Valentin almost single-handedly fueled the comeback with a couple of 3-run homers in game 3 of that series. And then everybody else joined in the next 2 games. The shortstop right to Jeter. Out number 2. 2 down, nobody on in the 3rd inning. No score in the game.
He can change speeds, and he has a great changeup. So that makes his fastball that much more effective. But everything Roger throws is hard. You just have to make up your mind very quickly whether you're going to swing or not.
3-2. Struck him out. Clemens has 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. The last third of the Yankee batting order coming up now against Pedro. No score.
I don't have to look up.
Hate those tall Hall of Famers. 3-2 the count now to Shane Spencer. Ooh, that's ball 4. Well, Pedro pitching inside there. He talked to us about his reputation for pitching inside.
The results are out there. 2 Cy Youngs, 1 in each league. I don't need to mention the things that I've done to prove that pitching inside works. And, you know, it's not just the level of being a headhunter that's going to work to my advantage.
And he has hit 5 batters this season, which is not an enormous amount.
Clemens is at 4. Clemens has that reputation among a lot of hitters as well. 1-2. Oh man, right there inside corner at the knees. And Leday stays to talk it over with Ed Rapuano.
I think Leday thought that ball was low. It's a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and he thinks it's down.
Leday hit a home run yesterday. There's some Pedro Martinez fans out on the bleachers. Pedro's got his own rooting setup. Although they certainly don't have the same style as another great pitcher from the Dominican. One of the greatest pitchers to ever pitch in the major leagues, Juan Marichal. And Pedro, when he won his first Cy Young Award, made sure to remember Marichal. Pop up. Good first base Stanley. And that is out number 2. We're talking about Pedro and his deep feelings about his brother Ramon, and he talked to us about that.
So he really doesn't want to throw him much off speed, because then he would be right on it. And that's why I say he's such a smart pitcher. He knows exactly what he's doing out there. He knows what the hitter is thinking.
Spencer at first, 2 down, no score, 3rd inning. Carl Everett is there. And slicing back into him. Quite an at-bat by Knobloch, but Pedro prevails. A 9-pitch at-bat. Top of the order for the Red Sox coming up. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball from Yankee Stadium, New York. The Red Sox and Yankees tied for first atop the American League East. The rubber match of their 3-game weekend series. No score as we head into the 4th inning, and Jeff Fry will lead it off. Followed by
left-hander, you watch how he pitches the left-handed hitters. So you will try to pick out a pattern or have an idea about how he's going to pitch to you when you get to the plate.
The strikeout. Number 5 for Roger Clemens.
Well, Roger's just in complete control. Look, a little breaking ball. That's a hard breaking slider down and away. But the key is it wasn't in the strike zone.
It's Pedro as a Red Sox. It's a new century, and the Red Sox are hoping to get rid of all of that once and for all. 1-2. And the splitter for the strikeout. And he's on a roll now. He's struck out 3 in a row. And 6 of the 11 he's faced.
And you can see, as I said, he gets him to chase pitches. Once he gets ahead of you, he does not throw a strike. He gets you to chase his splitter. It starts in the strike zone and goes down and away.
White Sox last Tuesday, but as you mentioned, Joe, the start before that, 10 days ago against the White Sox here, he pitched very well.
But he also had good stuff last time. He just made a couple of bad pitches in bad locations, left him out over the plate.
Check swing. That is a fair ball. Rapuano made the call. Dabat just got a couple of steps out of the batter's box, and a fine play turned in by Posada to get it before it went foul. Now the Yankees with Jeter, O'Neill, and Bernie Williams coming up against Pedro. No score. Half inning when he was on deck.
A lot of hitters get ready to hit a lot of different ways. This is Derek Jeter in the on-deck circle, just relaxing, talking to some fans in the first row. Kids get him relaxed.
Along the right field line, that one is fair. And it hops into the seats. 2 bases. A bloop along the right field line, and Jeter has not made hard contact yet, but he is 2 for 2 against Pedro.
Well, John, he's used the end of the bat the first time up to hit a tapper down the third base line. He used the handle of the bat this time to get a base hit down the right field line. Watch this. It jams him, and he just flares it down the right field line, in on his fist, right down the right field line for a double, and it bounces that to the stand for a ground rule double. First time up, right off the end of the bat. Most hitters can hit 92, 93 mile an hour fastball if they can sit on it and look for it. But Pedro keeps you from doing that because of his changeup. You have to recognize the pitch first, and in doing so, that makes the 92 mile an hour fastball about 96 miles an hour or 97.
All right, is he going to throw him a changeup here?
Well, me and Paul O'Neill do not know that. But he knows he has one. There it is. See, he knows he's going to get it. He just doesn't know when. Sometimes he takes a little bit off, and looks like a little curveball, but it's an off-speed changeup.
That's right.
And John, that was just a great job of pitching to Paul O'Neill, because Paul O'Neill went up there knowing what his job is. Paul O'Neill's a smart hitter. He knew he had to pull the ball, and he just couldn't do it.
In these spots, I mean, Pedro becomes even tougher to hit. Popped up. Bernie Williams, the Yankees RBI leader, unable to move Jeter over. The catch made by Valentin, the third baseman. 2 down, and now Posada.
Powering with his stuff. He's very smart out there. He gets into the hitters' heads.
Veritek runs out to chat with him for a moment. Now back behind the plate. 3-2 to Posada. Jeter at second, 2 down, no score. Struck him out, and the inning is over.
That's magnificent pitching there, John.
That's 4 strikeouts for Pedro. Garciaparra coming up against the Rocket, no score.
You get mad if you get a cheap hit off him. I've seen Randy Johnson get a blue hit. He just blows away the next 3 guys. I mean, that's what they do. They get angry if you get a cheap hit.
Jeter with 2 cheap hits tonight, but it has not done the Yankees any good. The splitter, another strikeout. Number 7 for Roger Clemens in 4 1/3 innings.
And it's just tough, you know, a guy like Garcia coming back and not having a chance to face someone this tough. And you see Roger, the reason that he throws 2 different speeds on that splitter is he splits his fingers wider when he wants it to go softer. And the hard one you're talking about, he doesn't.
Balls 2 strikes to Everett. Roger Clemens, who twice in his career pitched games where he had 20 strikeouts, the major league record. And he is reminding us of those days so far tonight. Number 8. And he has struck out 5 of the last 6 hitters.
And John, when he struck out the 20, he was doing it with an overpowering fastball and a hard slider. Now he's doing it with an overpowering fastball and a splitter. He just throws this ball by. Look at the movement on the ball. That's what gets Everett, not just.
Clemens is already within 1 strikeout of equaling his season's high for strikeouts. He has not had more than 9 strikeouts in a game this year. 2-2. Popped up. Shallow left center. Bernie Williams. The inning is over. That's 15. Clemens has faced the minimum number. Pedro Martinez coming up against Pedro. No score.
It's just all depend on where you hold it. If you hold a little bit off center to the right, it'll cut in. If you hold a little bit off the center to the left, it'll move to the outside. If you put the pressure on your index finger.
High in the air. Easy play for Everett. Center field. And there is 1 away.
Just thought about that. I don't know why I'm telling you all that, how you hold that. Are you planning on throwing some?
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at.
When Pedro beat Clemens and the Yankees in that playoff game last year, and in the game before that he had pitched against Cleveland. Deep into center. But Everett, plenty of room, has this one. I think that's the best hit ball of the game so far for the Yankees. Maybe for either team. 2 down, and here is Ricky Leday. But Pedro, who really was hurt and realized that he was risking his career, as we see the pitch totals. And they've thrown a lot of strikes here tonight, Clemens and Pedro. But Pedro was not right. He had the back problem, and he was throwing a lot of cut fastballs. And he was dropping down a little bit, more of a 3/4 delivery than over the top. And that one fouled off the plate umpire, Ed Rapuano, and that hurt. Gene Monahan, the Yankee trainer, quickly out.
Get any sympathy. But it's a fastball in, and it gets him right on the inside of the right knee. And there is a shin guard there, but you can see it stops. Looks like it stops just below where he was hit. So it gets him right on the inside. He has a shin guard on, but underneath the pants, but that was just above what you would like to see, especially in a ball game like this, where one pitch can make the big difference.
Today, base hit. Stanley and Fry had it surrounded, but somehow it made it through the both of them. That's the first base hit by
this all along. I think you have to run on Maddox. You have to run on these great pitchers, because if you sit there and wait for things to happen, you know, you're just not going to get 3 or 4 base hits in a row. And Leday gets a good jump, and he steals second base.
Here's why I'm not surprised about Brocious and Pedro. Brocious rises to the occasion.
Great pitch right there, though, John. That was a changeup down and away.
Caught at second by Fry. End of threat for the Yankees. We're going to the 6th inning. O'Leary, Valentin, and Varitek against the Rocket. No score.